Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk movies, television, and wrestling. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for the penultimate episode of Season 2 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way, shall we? To leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into it, shall we? So yeah, we have been talking about how I believe this season, in execution overall to me, is better than season 1. Now, there are a lot of indicators that come into that. You know, season 1, I felt like I was really comparing the two, and I really wasn't fully able to appreciate the show overall like I would have. Now, because I was comparing the book and the show as itself and how the execution compares to them. In season 2, not having memory of the second book, I've just been able to take everything at face value and really rely on the execution of the episodes and these character moments. And again, to me, it's night and day. Like, I have really thoroughly enjoyed everything that we have done. And ever since episode 4, I feel like we have really leveled up. So about 3 weeks of, to me, what was great television. Like, this is better than, normal standard Disney Plus viewership. How Disney, when motivated, and they have a full belief in their team behind them, man, these shows can really sing and compete with some of the best of them. And to me, Percy Jackson and the Olympians is one of them. And, my immediate reaction on this episode in particular, and I've sat on it a little bit, and again, overall, share a sentiment, right? Really enjoyed the episode. I have come to enjoy it a little bit more now after sitting on it, as opposed to when I first came off. Because when I first came off of it, I say this in the immediate thoughts too, is that for one reason or another, I just didn't love it as the others. And I still think that holds true. True overall. It's just, I don't have the deflation of like, damn, it's been great, even immediately afterwards. And now it was just like, oh, yeah, that was another solid episode. I liked a lot of things that we did here. I liked a lot of the conversations. And I'm a sucker for, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. And then the two characters go and do the exact opposite thing where their quest kind of, overtake each other in a lot of ways. I'm a sucker for those types of things. It's a trope that I'll never get sick of. Yes, I'm talking about Clarice and Percy as they're talking about, hey, what's the plan here? Continuing on that little disagreement that they had over at the cave. No, we need to go after the Golden Fleece. That's what's going to save camp. That's my question. Not going to get in my way of that. Percy going, well, this is why your destiny, what I forgot what it was called, premonition is going to be true. You're going to be with no friends and you're going to go back home alone. And Percy being an absolute dick with that. No, Annabeth's my priority. Okay, well, you go do what you gotta do and I'm going to do what I gotta do. Okay, cool. And then they go off their separate ways. Percy does get to Annabeth and then they're like, oh, y'all working together? No, we have different priorities. The fleece is hers and you're mine. And when Luke comes in, they're having a conversation. Percy realizes, oh, the fleece is open. I can make a beeline for it. I know exactly where it's at. And I'm going to make a beeline for that. And then Clarice, hearing the conversation of, hey, Kronos gave me the orders. And how excited our homegirl was that, Kronos is giving her orders over Luke. This is my mission. I need to kill Annabeth. Who come with me just in case Luke gets in the way. And Clarice is going, well, can't let that happen. And then she goes and save, and therefore their two Pats go differentiate, and they capture what the other person was supposed to catch. Again, I'm just a sucker for those. Those make me smile. It was executed beautifully as well. The tie-in with the Pegasus to bring in the premonition. Once I saw it, I was like, oh, she's going to fly alone, but without her friends. But she does have friends, and they're going to go find their own way. And I kind of wish they didn't force explain it. Like, Percy needed to apologize to Clarice, right? Like, that absolutely needed to happen. But I wish we didn't have the whole, I used it against you as a weapon because, and then explaining why this is happening. Like, oh, look how clever we are. Kids can pick that up, right? I don't care how old you are. You're going to go, oh, so she is right. Like, kids can pick that up. You don't need to force explain it to them. Maybe that's part of this whole streaming writing thing that's been going on where it's programmed to, hey, you have to write with the attention that you are background noise, so you have to explain everything. Some people, Netflix in particular, is like one of the foundations of that, hey, right as if they're not watching. And it, therefore, it's kind of like you're getting audible book. And when you are watching, it's like, oh man, it just feels very force-handed in some areas. Tyson and Grover were kind of in the background within this episode. They were just kind of on this side quest to find a ride. Sure enough, they get the ride with Percy's mom. Now she's within on the plan. They're heading back to camp. They're on their way. And then, Annabeth and Luke's conversation too, I thought was really good. I mean, I don't recall what the actress's name is, but the girl who plays Annabeth is, to me, probably the strongest actor of all of them, and that's no disrespect to any of the others. I also think the girl from that plays Clarice is also very strong. To me, they're the 1 and 2 for sure. But that monologue that she's giving to Luke about what's right and what's wrong, and everything else that she was talking about, like, hey, we can actually bring her back. Did I ever come to you whatsoever that you have this fleece and you can bring her back as a human form? And then, Luke having that conversation with Kronos, and Kronos getting hit like, are you gonna betray me? And then something happens at the end, and now we're gonna get ready for this finale. But that I assume happens, this final battle that happens at Camp Half-Blood. I'll be curious to see what Camp Half-Blood looks like now that they can't get in contact with them whatsoever. But yeah, I'm amped. Look, even though this isn't one of my favorite episodes, and I didn't have that same euphoric reaction that I did from the past 3 weeks where I just thought banger after banger after banger, it still did the right things. It made me excited to tune in next week to see how this all ends. And as long as this finale lands, man, we are on the cusp of like, hey man, it may be a television show, but yeah, this could compete with Harry Potter with great YA adaptations that have been developed. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this episode. Again, not a whole lot. I feel like it was a short episode too. I think it was only 40 minutes for the most part, which is pretty standard. But yeah, the pacing was really good. I feel like nothing really overstayed its welcome. Again, the conversations were really good overall. But yeah, for the most part, that's really all that was really happening in this episode. But again, I love the execution of it. I just didn't love it as much as other episodes. But hey, we're going to judge the whole season as a whole, and the season has been fantastic, and this is another example of that. But yeah, comment below and let me know your thoughts on this episode. Leave a like if you made it this far within review. I do greatly appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button as I am trying to grow into my YouTube career. And don't forget to squeeze the days, guys, because life is too short not to give you all. So squeeze every opportunity that you can. And until next time, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.